Hi, everyone. Nicola here, outreach specialist with Re Medical. I am so excited. Today we have a very special guest, Zach Bell, also known as Veteran with a Sign. If you guys are on the socials, you probably have seen him with his famous, right behind you, your cardboard signs. But honestly, we are so excited to have you on today. Yep, there it is. You have
I
done
was trying to remember who it was. Yeah.
you have done so much for not only the veteran community, but also with Remedical. We're so excited to have you on to advocate for us, to spread
Mhm.
our word and our mission, along with everything that you do just in general for our veterans. So it's so exciting to have you on, Zach. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Super excited to be here. No, I was looking. So that one I haven't kept many of them because it's just a lot. It's like literally just a lot of cardboard. But that one's signed by the Sergeant Major of the Army, the 16th one, I believe.
That's
Sergeant, yeah, 16th
incredible.
Sergeant Major Michael Grinston. And I interviewed him in 21 at DC, like walking around the reflecting pool.
Well, I definitely want to get into sort of how that
Yeah.
all started, but if you wouldn't mind just kind of telling us, for anyone who is watching or has been following you, you know, your military career, where did you serve? If you want to just share a little bit of a background history of your military career, we would love to know.
Okay, sure. So I enlisted in 2007. I served until 2011, and during that time, I would deploy twice to Afghanistan. In March of 2008, I went to a town called Garmsor. I was there for 7 months. Combat deployments. I was an infantry rifleman in the Marine Corps, and I went there. They told us initially we were going to like the Mediterranean. We ended up going to Afghanistan many times. I mean, not many times instead. And so we spent 7 months there, a little different than being on a ship. And then we came home and they're like, hey, you're going to Iraq. It's like 2009. And we were going to shut down bases. Like we were going to go and just like do security while they shut bases down. So
Wow.
it's like a really good gig. It's like a good get. Um, but instead they said we're going to a town called Marja in 2009, 2010 to do the troop surge. And that was really hard on my family,
Yeah, I can
my
imagine.
friends. And at that time, there was no career where I wasn't doing that for the next 20 years. And I just, I had a lot of success. I was promoted meritoriously. I held every job in the infantry rifle squad and had like all these things. I could have like really taken the career far,
Yeah.
but it was at that time. And in that job in particular, it was such a high cost in my family that, we decided to leave and get out and move back to Middle Tennessee, which is where we've been since 2011.
That's incredible. Okay, so
Mhm.
how long then in total did you serve?
I was 4 years active duty.
Okay, so that's incredible. Your career, just especially in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
So when you finished, obviously coming home for your family, which shout out to mil spouses and just
Hmm.
military families in general, because
Hmm.
they deal with a lot, especially at home.
Hmm.
So that's incredible that you obviously wanted to be home with your family. So between that time and now creating Veteran with a Sign,
Hmm.
um,
World famous.
when did that happen? Yes, like when did that happen? How did that roll out?
So there wasn't like a map on like how to be a veteran, and there wasn't a map to file your benefits. There was nothing.
Mhm.
To get a VA home loan, we went to this first place, and they literally had to pull out an encyclopedia to figure out how to do it. They had never done it, and they were so infrequently used that we decided to not actually go with it at that time. We would end up refinancing to a VA home loan, but like they just literally there was no knowledge on it, and
It's
so
amazing how much that's changed from when you
I
started till
it's
now.
yeah, it's incredible. I mean, my
Yeah.
VA benefits weren't filed correctly. My school benefits weren't filed correctly. It was a nightmare for like I don't exaggerate. It was a nightmare, but
Yeah.
for like 2 or 3 years, there was just no one there
Hmm.
to understand the system or these systems. And so I started reaching out to nonprofits, and then I eventually got a job working at a nonprofit, being an outreach specialist, right? Helping to connect people. And that would like give me industry knowledge. I hate to say industry, but that's what it is. It would give me like industry knowledge about these things and these subjects,
Right.
and it would help me to see the gaps. And the biggest gaps I saw day in and day out were lack of knowledge and understanding of benefits.
Hmm.
Um, and so I kept that with me until, I started working in like for-profit healthcare, and the events of 2020 happened, and we got the lockdown happened, and I was home with
Right.
my family for a long time, and it was really, really cool. I loved it. I know it was hard on some people. It was not hard on us in that
Hmm.
aspect. Um, it was some of the best times of our lives, actually. I got to spend more time with them every day than I had
I
in
love that.
years prior to that, you know?
Especially while you were away. I'm sure that was
Oh yeah,
pretty
and
impactful.
I was also working and like all this stuff, but like, 90 days straight with anyone, nope, not many people do that. Um,
Right. It's true.
but it was awesome. And again, I know it was hard on people, and I can't imagine that, but that was not our experience.
Hmm.
And I'm not embarrassed about that. But
I love that.
it during that time I was also like trying to be more creative, and I had written in the past for a few publications, the Tennessee, which I think is a Gannett publication, Huffington Post, Fox News, and even the New York Times. I've got a few things out there. So I I saw some stuff on the internet. I saw people with cardboard. There were like a lot of things. I think it's still out there. There's a thing called dog with a sign that just beats me up every second of the day. But you can't compete with a dog. You just
No,
can't. It's
never.
good. It's good content. But I just started. I just started writing signs, and I started putting them out there, and slowly but surely, over the course of roughly, I started in March, so I was just taking a beating online until like May
Where
1st.
where were you getting like some of the inspiration for some of your signs? Like was it just things that you'd gone through personally or other veterans
Yeah, things
that you've
I'd gone
seen?
through, things I
Okay.
was doing. I made a joke about the Tiger King at one point. Stuff that was like in the zeitgeist of social
Yeah.
media.
Okay.
I did one where it was like I had my daughters decorate a sign, and like I was like had my hair pinned up, and they had makeup all over my face and stuff, because it's a rite of passage as a girl dad to have them do all those
I
things.
love
And
that.
that led me to a place to where I was just trying to write them. And then like I caught wind of Captain Crozier. He's a naval commander.
Mhm.
He was in charge of the ship, and all of his ship was sick with the virus, right?
Okay.
All of them. And he told the Navy, and the Navy's like, "You're not. That's not true. That's literally not true." And he's like, "No, no, it is. The entire ship's sick. Like, it's my job to take care of these kids. We need to get them some care, some medicine, whatever." And you're like, "No, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine." And he's like, "No, they are." And so I don't know exactly who he leaked it to, but he leaked all of his correspondence and stuff to CBS, I believe it was, and they published it. And then he got relieved of command. But
Mm.
as he was getting relieved of command, this video went viral of them just seeing Captain Crozier, bah, 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 bah. And like the whole ship's just like humming,
Oh
because
my God.
all of them are screaming as he's walking off the ship, because they loved
Yeah.
him so much. Because real leadership is doing what is right regardless of the cost, and he did
Mhm.
that. And I heard he's got a book coming out. I'm really excited about that. But um, and I made a sign about that, like bring back Captain Crozier. And the main thing that one of the things I took away from it is, one, he was in leadership, he did what was right, but
Right.
two, people don't really understand how unusual it is for someone to get relieved of command in a non-wartime situation. He It's basically a base. That's what
Mhm.
ships are. And they relieved him of command. That's a big deal. Like,
That is a big deal.
elected officials have to sign off on that. And so
Right.
that happened and a few people shared it and it just started like things just started like
And it just
rolling.
took off.
Yeah, they just started rolling.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so since that sign, that one going viral,
Hmm.
sharing it, everything, what then led you? Because I know you are a huge advocate for
Hmm.
mental health, which is
Yeah.
incredible. I think especially now these days, especially in my line of work, way back when, or even still, you still see it these days. Mental health was not something that was really taken as important as it is now,
Yeah.
especially with veterans. So, having said that, what sort of inspired you to really sort of, use your platform for that, to really advocate for mental health, especially men's mental health, and especially in the veteran community?
Hmm. A lot of it really just comes from pure selfishness when I think about it. In the sense of that I'm trying to figure out what's happening with me. And
Mhm.
I've always kind of thought that maybe I wasn't alone in the sense of, when I was at a nonprofit, I started exploring
Mhm.
companies that we could partner with, and I would always like audit their services. And I've done so many different things: hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I did sound therapy. I did magnet therapy,
Yeah.
EMDR, like whatever you can do. I did it because and all of them did something to improve my quality of life. Um, it's not a lot, but like if I got 10% better, 20% better, and I just started like stacking all those things.
Right.
But in general, the biggest thing I can notice is that like we as people don't really have the best way, especially men, of discussing like mental health issues.
Mhm.
And so I really wanted to like cause some disruption and chaos to that system a little bit
Yeah.
because everyone has these moments where your mental health is, the thing that is taxing you the most.
Yes.
And so I was just, I don't know, I selfishly have wanted to find a way to get better in the sense of like maybe I'm not alone. And what I found is that I wasn't alone. And for me, I heard a statistic or something, I can't remember what it was, but it was something to the effect of like most people really don't experience issues with their military service until like 10 years later or after.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's really when it
Oh yeah.
starts to kick in. And then I like looked at it and I was like, nah, it kind of makes sense. Like because by that point in your like professional career, you're like in your 30s, you're more mature, and you're like, man, why am I this way? Like things are more like I think it's directly connected to like stability and
Mhm.
things like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I've just noticed that all these different things are happening. So I just wanted to change the face and the idea of what like mental health looks like. I mean, there's so many different people who've done it at
Yeah.
such a larger scale. I mean, Simone Biles being in the Olympics, not being able to continue competing because of the stress and strain she was under.
Yeah. It's a
I
real
under
thing.
it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Everybody's like, oh, you do shut up. You're not in the Olympics. You don't know. Like people don't understand what it's like to be in that position and have
Of
those things, or
course.
actors have done it. People like you see
Mhm.
it in like I really just wanted to humanize the experience more. So that's what I
Absolutely.
tried to
Well,
do.
what has that been like for you in terms of your platform with veterans reaching out to you, obviously needing assistance for, I'm sure, a plethora of things, but specifically relating to disability benefits? What has that experience been like for you with the amount of veterans who, reach out to you regarding that?
The number one thing that people reach out to me about, even this morning, is about, hey, Zach, do you know a company that can help me? Do you know this, that, and the other thing?
As you know, we're very transparent about like all of
Mhm.
our consultations are completely free,
Yes.
and we do a very thorough, in-depth assessment. And obviously, if it's something that we feel a veteran does not have a solid chance,
Hmm.
we are not going to sign them up. We're not going to take them on. If it's obviously something that we feel do have a good chance, we do the consultation. We let them know what their options are. We're very
Hmm.
transparent with our fees, with what the process is like. So veterans know going into it, what that expectation is, right? So there's
Hmm.
none of this like, I didn't know this and they kept this from me. There's none of that, right? But we also do say, hey, there are plenty of veterans who maybe call us and they just want to hear what it's about, but they want to try to do the process on their own first. And we support that. We're like, hey, try it, do it on your own, see what happens. And if for some reason you're not satisfied, you know where to find us. So,
Yeah.
we
Well, and
definitely
that's
don't. I think there's that stigma sometimes of, companies like ours, like, oh, they don't support the VA, they don't support VSOs. That is not the case at all. We just provide a service to where if that process does not work, we are here to assist.
well, and with a company, you enter into a relationship where there's a certain amount of responsibility back and forth to each other.
Right.
Me as a paying customer, I have more sway over something that I get for free. Now that doesn't mean quality will be different. Each individual experience is
It's
based
different.
is
Right.
different. But what I'm telling you is, I spend a lot of time in the for-profit and nonprofit world. I haven't come close to anyone that has the results that Remedical does, which ultimately is the only metric I gauge people on. Because when people reach out to me and they're asking for assistance or asking for help, I want to feel comfortable sending them to someone.
Well, and I mean, like you said, we try to be very transparent. I think transparency is also something that veterans want, especially if they have gone through that process on their own and they keep kind of getting the same results and it's not in their favor. They just want that honesty. They just want that transparency, and we obviously can't guarantee the results, but 95% of our clients have reported receiving an overall disability rating of 70% or higher. I mean, our reviews and everything that veterans say, I mean, it speaks for themselves, as but more so than that, just wanting to provide again that knowledge and that of what a veteran, because veterans will contact us and they might not know what a DBQ is, disability benefit questionnaire, or like how it's going to affect them, and DBQs, play a significant role in receiving obviously your disability rating increase with the VA, and many veterans don't know that. Or with initial claims, the outcome of initial claim, obviously, as can significantly impact a veteran's access to healthcare, financial support, other benefits.
Isn't it 30%, right? You need 30% or
it's
higher
huge,
to
exactly.
get
But again,
voc
veterans,
rehab and GI Bill, I
right,
believe. Yeah. I
but
can't remember.
they don't know this, so
Yeah.
that's another huge reason for companies like ours is, even if a veteran, doesn't need our service or chooses to do elsewhere, just so they know what is available to them. And I know that is also something that you're very passionate with your work, is just putting that out there for veterans. Speaking again about disabilities. So I know obviously having you on with us, advocating for us, being a re-ambassador, which we're so excited for. We
Yeah.
just recently launched assistance with initial claims, which we're super excited about. Veterans, obviously, that you're watching, you can learn more on our website. We
Yeah.
kind of go a little bit more in depth on there. But how many veterans, contact you that are maybe transitioning from military life to civilian life that need sort of that support? Is it
I'll tell you,
is
I'll
it
tell you
daily?
what,
Is it
I mean, it kind of happens in waves, right? So
okay?
when I talk about it, like it'll happen for like a week. So say
Then a lot of people reach out.
I put a post up on a Monday or something like that. I'll hear it for like a week or two. Because the way content works is it's very I would say the cycle is like a whirlpool, is like it
Right.
pulls people in. And so like it starts up here and then it can live forever. Like I still have comments on posts I made like 4 months ago.
Right.
And people are like, this is great, or this sucks. Like, but when I put it out there, there's always an initial wave of like, what are you talking about? Tell me more, blah, 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 blah. And so
So
I'm
there's
always trying.
definitely a desire, there's a need, there's
Oh yeah.
veterans
I
wanting
mean,
to learn more.
whenever I talk about it, people are always saying so.
Yeah.
What's interesting though, is I still haven't got a good metric on guys that have been out, guys and gals that have been out for a while or just getting out. Right. And so I'm taken back by how many people have never filed at all. That's what I'm
There's many.
that's why I'm like, whoa, for
There's
real?
many. Oh yeah.
And I get it, dude. I get it. I've had to really, hem and haw and get some of my closest friends to do these things. So,
Right.
but even still, people that are 5, 10, 15 years removed from service, and they're like, I just don't want to do it.
Right.
And so that really, that metric's always kind of jarring to me. But everything else just is like kind of like, whoa, that I didn't see that coming.
Right.
It's honestly about 50-50 now that I think about it.
Well, I think too, a
I
lot
think
of
it's just so daunting. Is that the
well,
right
it
word?
is
It's
a
daunting.
lot of the
Yeah.
veterans that I personally talk to, they just again, kind of what we were talking about earlier, either personal, like they've seen what their closest buddies have
Hmm.
gone through, and maybe if not the best experience, and they're like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to bother with it.
Yeah.
Or there's also some of that guilt of, I didn't maybe go through as much as my brothers and sisters went through.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take that away from
Yeah.
another veteran. Um, I don't know. I'm not very well educated on this. And it's when I go online, I'm hearing a whole bunch of different answers that
Yeah.
don't really make sense. And they don't, there's a whole bunch of different things, but they're all extremely valid reasons. I don't even call them excuses. They're valid reasons. I every time I hear something, I'm like, I'm not a veteran myself, but I've been doing this, for 10 plus years, going on 15 now. It those reasons are extremely valid,
Hmm.
extremely valid.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard. And so when you don't understand the system, you don't know where to start, it's really tough. So now
Right.
that Re is starting to do initial claims, I'm beyond excited about it because I'm a real I'm a real agent of chaos, you know.
Right.
I'm like the Joker. I'm like, do I look like I have a plan? But no, I just want to I don't want to say break the system. I want to break our ideas of using the system,
Right.
right? And so my goal is just to get everyone is access to benefits,
Hmm.
and then we'll start from there.
Right.
Because if there's a direct correlation between people in my life and I don't want to say their success, but their well-being and their access to benefits and care. I mean, every day I knew a guy who got shot in the leg who has like he's still not 100%. And I was
That's
just like,
wild.
ah, like I know guys who are amputees who have like, issues with access care. So it's
Yeah.
really kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it's the government. It's
Yeah.
fine. This idea that if I take
Consistently
from,
inconsistent is what I
yeah,
like
they're
to say.
consistently inconsistent, but like, we keep finding checks for all sorts of different things.
Yes.
Please apply for your benefits. The debt ceiling will always raise. It shoots and ladders. It's fun. It goes up, it goes down. Just get your benefits. You deserve it and your family deserves it. It's not that everyone will get all sorts of stuff, but everyone,
Right.
you'd be amazed at what you qualify for.
What's exactly. Well, and for veterans who are watching, we will put your information down
Mhm.
here. We do have a link. Like I said, the consultation is completely free. So there's
Free.
no harm, free. There's
Yeah.
no harm in just, scheduling a consultation, having our benefit consultants reach out to you, just seeing what is available to you, right? Because like you said, not everyone is going to qualify for 100%. That would be awesome, but some veterans maybe only have 10% or 20% for maybe a few of the disabilities that they have service connected, or
Hmm.
maybe they have never filed before and
Hmm.
they're ready to start. So we'll definitely put your link down there. I know it's also on your Instagram in your bio too,
Yeah. In my link
um,
tree.
in your
Yeah.
link tree. I
Yeah.
don't know all that lingo, but and then obviously anybody who wants, I know you said you get DMs all the time, anybody who
Yeah.
wants to find out more information, you and I are good friends, we talk a
Hmm.
lot, you always send veterans our way, which we're so appreciative of.
Yes.
um
Yes. As am I.
so yeah, we'll obviously just continue that. We're super excited to have this partnership with you. But
Yes.
honestly, Zach, thank you so much for coming on today. Just obviously sharing your story, background about yourself, and just the importance of the disability. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Disability benefit world for our veterans. I just think it's something that we obviously are both very passionate about,
Hmm.
and wanting veterans to learn more about the resources that are available to them. So
Yeah. I just want to help people get the benefits they deserve. So I'm happy to be working with Remedical to get that accomplished.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach.
Thank
And
you.
we will obviously can't wait to see your content, everything that you share. We're so grateful to have this relationship with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.